welcome to JW Broadcasting for February 2023.
This video was brought to you by Patreon. Support my activism and gain early access to all my videos for only $1 a month. Welcome to my rebuttal of the February JW Broadcasting. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have so much to cover today, guys. Kenneth Cook, Mark Sanderson, and Stephen Lett are displayed in their full loony glory for you to enjoy. I had to sift through 2 hours of Watchtower propaganda just to bring you these videos, so if you enjoy them, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's like handling radioactive waste. Enjoy! The first 30 minutes of the broadcast involve a talk by Samuel Hurd where he tells you how to be joyful. It's like an alcoholic telling you how to stay sober. Look at the joy radiating from his face.
Loneliness, sorrow, hope.
My dude has one foot in the grave already, Jesus. At least his talk was definitely more chill than the last bloodthirsty rant we reviewed on his channel.
Too bad, too bad. But we will be thinking, I'm glad.
Sam just keeps on talking for 10 minutes, poking fun at old people.
Oh, folks, rejoice in whatever you're able to do. Just call it work.
Quoting the lyrics of worldly songs, just out of pure nostalgia.
Light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness.
And looking lost half of the time. This talk is so bland, I'm not gonna waste your time with it. So you can check it out on your own if you wish. If you're like a hardcore Sam the Reaper fan or something, who am I to judge? Next, we get an exclusive peek at what Watchtower is doing with the ice cream money they receive from children all around the world. Will this money be used to feed the hungry and clothe the poor? Yes, kind of. It's spiritual food. Take it or leave it.
At Isaiah 40, verses 4 and 5, Jehovah says he would remove seemingly insurmountable obstacles so the Jews could return to Jerusalem. This inspiring prophecy was initially fulfilled in 537 BCE. There is nothing that can stand in the way of what Jehovah wants accomplished.
Yeah, except COVID-19 and all the lawsuits and the ever-increasing presence of apostates. Jehovah is having some trouble dealing with those, isn't he? Let's cut the big guy some slack. He had some trouble dealing with iron chariots in the past, so a virus and apostates are a bit more resilient.
In this report, we will see clear evidence of Jehovah's support on theocratic projects today.
Okay, let's be objective for a bit. What would you count as evidence of God's backing? That's a tremendously bold claim. I expect to see some tremendously bold evidence.
Despite a pandemic, supply chain shortages, and other challenges. For example, the February 2020 announcement featured in the JW Newsroom informed us that the Cameroon branch relocation project finished shortly before the outbreak of COVID-19. Just in time, the Bethel family had a home where they could safely shelter in place during the pandemic and still care for the kingdom work and more than 48,000 publishers in that branch territory. The Argentina Bethel family also moved into their new branch facility in Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires. Bro, I know you're not a native Spanish speaker, but come on, you didn't even try to pronounce it right. Also, I remember we covered this location on a previous rebuttal with the Argentinian Bethelite who had been serving in the branch most of his life and was still expected to donate money. Who could forget that?
The successful completion of the new branch facilities in the midst of that turmoil has already given a great witness to the community.
I wonder if he's gonna provide some comments from the community. Interviews would be nice. Or do we just take his word for it?
It has allowed the Bethel family to focus on caring for close to 170,000 publishers in that branch territory. What a blessing to have these new facilities to support the kingdom preaching work. What about projects happening right now? Listen closely as we hear updates from brothers in Italy, Congo, and Angola.
Thanks to Jehovah's direction, despite the pandemic, we are happy to see how this project is moving forward much faster than we expected. And we look forward to being able to move into these new buildings by the end of 2024.
I'm not digging this black and white facade. Doesn't really scream Italy to me. Also, did he say the end of 2024? I think this Cazzo forgot that we're living in the final part of the last days. He probably missed the broadcast.
We have already started moving some Bethelites to this new site and look forward to the project's completion in mid-2024.
We look forward to seeing some of the Bethel family move into this new building in early 2024.
These 3 projects will be completed in 2024. They should just not release the completion dates. It kinda detracts from the urgency of Armageddon. It's kinda hard to believe the end is just around the corner when Jehovah is so busy building stuff. Caralho.
In addition to these new branch facilities, we also have many other needs to fill.
Oh, Daddy, I need some filling too.
In order to train brothers and sisters to carry out the preaching and teaching work, there continues to be a need for theocratic school facilities. Currently, there are over 40 existing school facilities, and we have around 20 active school facility projects at various stages of development.
I love how all this space is completely empty. I guess Jehovah doesn't want Indians to be educated in the theocratic schools. Gosh, do they not realize how weird that sounds? Theocratic schools.
What about facilities to support the growing media production of the organization? We're happy to report that we have finished the studio projects at the South Africa and Australasia branches. In Australasia, that includes the backlot that is used for the Good News According to Jesus video series. Soon, if Jehovah wills, we will begin construction on the new site in Ramapo, New York. We look forward to seeing how Jehovah uses this facility to care for the needs of his people. It is clear that neither the pandemic nor ongoing turmoil in this world has been able to stop theocratic building projects. And as world conditions continue to deteriorate, we are confident that the words of Isaiah 44:5 will be true for us. Yes, Jehovah will help us overcome any mountain-like obstacles that we face. We earnestly pray for Jehovah to bless these and future building projects.
Okay guys, grab my paws. It's time to pray. Dear Jehovah, Sky Father, please bless all these very expensive and time-consuming building projects that the faithful slave has decided to embark on. We know we are living in the final part of the last days, but we also know these movie studios won't build themselves, so open up our wallets, Jehovah, so we may support these projects. Because even though we know you are an all-powerful deity who could create money out of thin air, you still need our hard-earned cash to carry out your purpose. We say this prayer in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
And we thank you, dear brothers and sisters, for supporting them by means of your prayers, skills, time, and resources.
You're welcome. Now, shut up.
But some may wonder, at a time when guests are not allowed on Bethel property, why is this visitors centre so important to Jehovah? The physical buildings at Bethel are attractive. But what's more valuable to Jehovah is what happens inside. It's the spiritual gift that he has in store for all who come to visit that is so important.
Notice how many times they're gonna mention the phrase spiritual gift.
The Patterson Visitors Center is designed to be an immersive theocratic experience for everyone. The Patterson Visitors Center will feature 3 museums and a coin display. Our feature museum will be a first-century Bible village. The objective is to educate visitors about what life was like in the first century. and thereby bring Bible accounts to life. You will get a sense of what things were like when Jesus walked the earth. Since the Israelites lived off the land, the experience begins with an overview of the annual crop cycles that form the core of so much of their daily activities. Key agricultural tasks such as threshing, winnowing, and grinding grain will be illustrated with interactive displays. We know you will find the exhibit components like the functioning olive press and wine press very interesting and informative. The next stop will be a typical first century market. Here you will see some of the food and goods that would have been available depending on the season of the year. We next invite you into the residence and workshop spaces of a typical first century Israelite family. The manger, carpentry shop, weaving, and fabric dyeing displays will illustrate a number of Israelite activities. The residence courtyard area will show other regular home tasks like grain grinding and basket making. We next invite you into a typical Israelite home and out onto a rooftop overlooking the rest of the village. Before you leave the residences, you will also see an upper room that would have been in some of the Israelite homes. The next area of the first century Bible village that you can explore is the synagogue, which was the center of worship and study in the Jewish community. Next, a functioning pottery wheel and kiln will illustrate how pottery was made. The last stop will take you to a lakeside where you will be able to board a first century fishing boat similar to the one that Jesus and his disciples used. Here you can learn what was involved in commercial fishing.
Are you going to feature the Roman oppression of first century Judea? How about a replica of the Jewish rebels and zealots who were crucified weekly right in front of the holy city? That market street looks squeaky clean. It's missing some animal shit and some paralyzed beggars on the floor. Yeah, folks, first century Judea is nothing to be jealous of. In fact, it was such a miserable place to be in that it provided the perfect breeding ground for all sorts of messiahs and apocalyptic preachers to rile the masses into a frenzy. But I guess we should just romanticize this era because there was wine pressing and boats. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge nerd for museums. I love a good exhibit. But why this? Aren't you already making a new Jesus movie with a complete village replica? Why don't you just send your followers over there? Or why not just make this a digital experience? You already have the renderings finished. Just polish up those rocks and we're good. You expect us to fly over to New York just to see this exhibit when you already showed us the whole thing for free? Come on, Watchtower.
This, and so much more, is waiting for you at the new Patterson Visitor Center. We can't wait for you to come and see the beautiful spiritual gift that is waiting for you.
What spiritual gift are you talking about? Are we going to start healing lepers or casting out demons? Now that would be a full, legit first century experience. Just start speaking gibberish out of nowhere. I mean, speaking in tongues.
The new Visitors Centre and Museum are on course to be completed in the fall of 2023. When will guests be able to come back to Bethel and tour the new facility? We are going to have to wait and see. But one thing is for sure, when the doors finally do open, anyone who makes the effort to come will receive a spiritual gift from Jehovah.
No, it will be a gift for American and European witnesses who can afford to visit. Realistically, most witnesses will never be able to visit the United States, let alone for your silly museum exhibit. This is gonna be like the Mecca of Jehovah's Witnesses, alongside Warwick headquarters, except Mecca actually has more than 1,000 years of history, while these exhibits glorify a relatively new American cult. No thanks.
The touring experience will prove to be a spiritual encouragement to the worldwide brotherhood and promote pure worship to Jehovah's praise and honor in a very unique way. It will certainly be a must-see.
Well, we've seen the blessings on this project and really all the people working hard on it. The facility is going to benefit thousands of future visitors. It's because all of us, either now or in the new world, need to be taught about the life and ministry of Jesus. For this reason, we're convinced of Jehovah's blessing on the project and his desire to have this facility built.
It's Jehovah's desire that people come to his house and be refreshed and educated. It is our prayer that this new and thrilling visitors center will accomplish that. Guests will come, they will be upbuilt, and they will draw closer to Jehovah God.
Yep, this is a new pilgrimage site, alright. Just like Mecca, or the Vatican, or Jerusalem, or the hometown of Buddha, or Varanasi, or Amritsar, or Salt Lake City. Except all those places are actually cool to visit. You want your followers to spend their unpaid vacation week and hundreds of dollars to fly to New York so they can take a photo in a fishing boat with a fake background and pretend to grind grain and pretend to be in a Judean rooftop without even having to climb stairs? What a gift this is. Allahu Akbar. Oh wait, wrong religion. Praise Jehovah. Now, in all seriousness, I can think of way better things to do with your money than spending it on JW Disneyland. If you must see a Bible museum, you could just visit the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. They have actual artifacts from the 1st century and some cool manuscripts. If you don't want to spend money, just watch The Chosen. It's a series about Jesus and all the set pieces are very well made. It'll make you feel like you're in the 1st century or whatever. I'm not even a believer, but I enjoyed it. Watchtower, you're gonna have to step up your game if you want people to visit your pilgrimage site. How about you make a collection of all the pillows that had to be cleaned after all that shit that's going down in Bethel? Or maybe a collection of the pedo database you have hidden in your headquarters. That would be cool. Or how about a memorial for all the people that have lost their lives because of your no blood doctrine? Now that would be an exhibit I would attend to. So now let me know what you thought of this JW Disneyland. How drunk would you have to be to visit this place? Let me know in the comments below. I also want to give a huge thank you to my Patreons for your constant support. You keep this channel going. Guys, sometimes YouTube is very silly and will copyright strike my videos. And the last time I worked really hard on this video and I got a channel strike because I was promoting conspiracy theories supposedly. YouTube is very silly. So Patreon really makes it possible for me to keep going without being too worried about my income. I want to provide all these videos for free. I love doing these videos. I love having you guys in the comments and sharing all this laughter with you. But please consider joining Patreon if you have $1 a month to spare. It really makes a huge difference and I really want to thank you guys for everything you do. So please consider that. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next part of the rebuttal. We're gonna have Kenneth Cook give a horrific talk on gay people. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Now take it easy, have a wonderful day guys, and stay away from the tower.
Wasn't that delightful?